All right, welcome to another video. My name is Anthony, and at Fight Coffee, we're on a mission to raise awareness about human trafficking, and that's why we're making these videos. And we're also on a mission to raise money to fund the fight, because only 1% of victims are being rescued. And so that's why we're selling our delicious, responsibly sourced coffee online. Just go to fightcoffee.org. Get yourself some, try it, and you'll see for yourself that it is delicious coffee. And every time you drink it, you'll feel good knowing that you are also a part of the solution in the fight against human trafficking. All right, so before we get into this video, all right, the meat and potatoes of it, I want to ask if you've heard this story about a 15-year-old girl. Her name is Dorothy. Now, in 2019, she from Kentucky, her mom took her cell phone away because there was a pot of rice on the stove and it burst into flames. And why did it burst into flames? Because she was on her social media doing her thing. All right? So, what did her mom do? Her mom took her phone away. And what did Dorothy do? She got on her Nintendo 3DS and kept on rolling. Now, how that all works and connects, I don't know, but that's what she did. And so her mom found out, shut that down. And so after that, what did Dorothy do? Well, she got on her Nintendo. And her mom, who was on it like Jardians, like Inspector Clouseau, found out that her daughter was back at it through the Nintendo on her social media, shut that down. So what did Dorothy do after that? She got on her Wii. All right. She kept trucking. All right. What did her mom do? Found out, shut it down. So what then did Dorothy do? You think maybe she's running out of options, right? No. And you won't believe this unless you've heard the story. But she got on her Wi-Fi fridge and was contacting and doing her thing through the Wi-Fi fridge, if you can believe it, right? That's technology for you. And that's tenacity for you, all right? And we got to give it up to Mom, who was just on it and stayed on it, right? And she kept shutting her down every step of the way, And so I'm hoping that there's some moms and dads out there, and you're like this mom, and you want to make sure that if you shut things down, they're going to stay shut down, all right? But here's the thing, right? Kids are crafty, they're sneaky, especially when it comes to bypassing parental controls. A lot of parents, they just think, I put the controls on there, all set, and they move on with their lives. But as this story, the Dorothy story, tells us, not necessarily the case. Probably rarely is the case, unfortunately. So, how are kids hacking the tech? Here's a few ways they're doing it. One way is they're using products like Google's suite of educational tools. Google Docs, have you heard of it? All right. And I don't know if you know, but I've sent Google Docs to people, and we've worked on the same document at the same time. So if you take a kid's phone, let's say, but they have internet access on their computer, and they have Google Docs, they can contact somebody through Google Docs, and they can live chat, if you will, right there through that Google Doc, and they can erase it as they go. All right, so FYI, that's one way. Another way is kids will remove their phone from the case, and if it charges, plugs through the case, they just put the case face down, make it look like it's plugged in. They're up in their room, working their magic, while you pass by thinking, that's an old school way. That's an old school hack, if you will. Another way is this one's easy, and initiate a factory reset. So if they do that, bye-bye parental controls. Another way, and this is super hard to shut down. I don't know if this is even possible. It's probably not. But they find a family member or a friend, right? And hey, can I borrow your phone for a second? My battery just died, or what? I need to just, and it's easy at school, super easy, right? So that's another way they can do it. Of course, using gaming consoles like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Switch, Oculus. Now, I'm not a gamer. I don't know a lot about that, but I do have an article. So if your kids are gaming, just check out the The article, I got a link in the description box below. Check that out. You know, because we got to dig deeper. And there's a lot of games out there. So there's a lot of connectivity going on and a lot of ways to get around. So check that article out. All right. Another way to do it is Algospeak. Now, I don't know if you've heard about Algospeak, but it's so popular that they actually have a name for it. All right. So what is Algospeak? Well, it's words and images used to outsmart social media and parental controls. All right. So basically, they're you know, Algospeak is a fairly new and ever-evolving way to say something or post images in a creative way to avoid being flagged, right? So examples are alternative spelling. So tell me if you can guess what this is, right? So Segggsy, Segsy. All right, what do you think that is? Now, they can also put in the letter S, then an egg emoji, and then SY. Egg emoji, Segsy. So they're trying to say, hey, you're Segsy. All right, bypassing, that won't get flagged, okay? You know, another example is lesbian. They have LE $bean. That has morphed to the $bean. So it's basically a new language is being created. It's probably going to morph and continue to morph, right? All to bypass any type of flagging, all right? Then you got replacement words like pandemic, panini or pandemonium replaces that. Instead of suicide, maybe, you know, obviously tons of kids are taking their lives, right? And so they're talking about it, but they're communicating and they're using the word sewer slide instead of suicide, right? Or dead, killed, or killed. If you're watching any YouTube videos about police and death or anything, you'll see unalive, unalived. Okay, so that doesn't get flagged. And then sex worker, accountant, they're using accountant for that. So again, those are just a few examples. And then for emojis, like, so for example, the watermelon emoji, that's a sign of support for Palestine. Now, I'm not trying to get political. I'm just telling you what it is. Right? Because why? Because the colors match the flag's colors. Okay? Creative. A lot of kids are talking about cutting and self-harm, so they'll use razors, scissors, a knife or a dagger, or the blood drop, okay, or a pill, okay, like a Tylenol. It looks like a Tylenol pill emoji, right? So suicide, self-harm, or bleeding and self-harm. So cutting and self-harm. All of these emojis are using that. Now, to be clear, not everybody who's using, let's say, for example, the pill is talking about suicide. Some people do have medication problems. Some people, maybe they do have a headache, and that is why they're using that emoji. So, you know, it's not necessary. It depends on the subculture, whoever's using it. It's not necessarily has an alternate meaning, but it could. So this is just an FYI for you, mom and dad, in case. Then you got VPNs, okay? Now, VPNs function as a disguise, all right? They mask IP addresses, right? Creating an encrypted connection between a device and the internet for the purpose of anonymity, all right? How do VPNs work? They route internet traffic through a server located in a different geographical location, making it appear as though the user is browsing from a location that's different from their actual location. Right? So VPNs can be a good thing, all right, when they're used to protect, let's say, your sensitive information, billing information, things of that nature, all right, but they can be very problematic when it comes to kids because the VPNs allow them to bypass the restrictions and parental controls, giving them access to blocked content. So you went online, you had your parental controls, you blocked it, but you're blocking your IP address, not another IP address. So they bypass that, all right? Now, and here's the thing. Some VPNs are free. Now, here's my question. Who's putting this out for free? Probably the sick people, the hunters who want to hunt our children, and they want to they're like, oh, we need to give these kids a way to bypass their parental controls so we can get at them, all right? So this is huge. For more information about it, I have an article. Just click the link below, all right? So you definitely want to check that article out, because I don't want to get into it because I don't even understand it all. All right, so right? So another thing is unplugging parental control home devices. Like Disney has the Circle, all right? Bark has a Bark home unit. You got to plug it in so it can work, and you work everything. But all the kid has to do is unplug it. Now, some of them have a battery, but what some kids can do is they can walk it down, walk it to wherever, take it, away from where it's able to connect, and then they do their thing. You're at work, whatever you're doing, you ran some errands, then they know you're coming home around a certain time, they plug it back in again. All right, you can kind of check to see activity and so forth. But you'd have to look for that. If you just think you plugged it in, it's okay. Maybe probably not, maybe not. And then you'd have to duct tape or figure out a way, put it in some type of cage, a locked cage on the other end, the actual unit, so the kid can't unplug that end. So there's a unit, there's something that you can buy, and I have, you can check that out in the description box below, but it's an outlet lock. So you got to lock it on that end, lock it when it's plugged in, and lock it on the unit's end. So those are a few ways that kids are doing what they're doing. So here's the thing, right? And I can't state enough, parent controls are not foolproof. Just like that mom taught us, Dorothy's mom. You got to be vigilant. You got to stay on top of things. You got to keep looking out for what's new. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So as I hear more information, certainly, again, this is why I'm encouraging you, hey, follow this channel, right? As I continue to put stuff out, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you protect your kid. That's why we're fighting human trafficking, right? Because we've got to raise awareness. We need to give you the tools that you need so you can protect your kids. That's what this channel is all about. I hope you appreciate that. If you found value to this channel, I really hope that you will like, subscribe, share this video. I don't know about you, but I think every parent needs to know this information. Every parent needs to at least be aware of what's going on, how the kids are hacking, so that they can, if they're using parental controls, they can have this information to help them see that what they're attempting to do is actually working. So with that, I'm done. That's all I got. Thank you for watching this video, and please share this video. And then we'll catch you in the next video.